Hey everybody, what's going on? We are going to take a look at every single legendary champ in Infinite Magicraid today and see what we think. I think there's some pretty popular ones that we all know about at this point, but I speculate that there's probably at least a dozen sitting around that are awesome that we just don't know about yet. So I want to go through and look at everybody and get familiar with what their kits do, because even some of the familiar faces, I still don't know exactly what they do. I haven't taken the time, like Malia here. I know she's real popular, but I'm not real familiar with her. I just know she's kind of a pain in the ass in Arena. Same with this guy, same with a few other familiar faces. So I just want to, I want to look around and see what everybody's got going on, get a little bit familiar with everyone, and yeah, that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead and jump into it with Malia. HP burning, counterattack, and single target damage. All right, we've got a standard attack on the A1, 2 stages of attack damage to a single enemy with a chance to inflict HP burn. That's on a 3-turn. Chance to inflict a layer of HP burn on the attacker when she takes direct damage. See, that I didn't know about. I didn't know she kind of had that Drexstar thing going. Or maybe I did, forgot. I don't know. I think you use her like right in the beginning, right? Don't they have you use her in the beginning of the game? And then she transforms into the Valkyrie and gets all of her skills enhanced for 3 turns. This effect cannot be removed, and she gains 1 more action turn. So she gets to switch forms and then gets another turn. All 3 exclusives go into here. It lasts for 1 more turn. She inflicts 1 layer of HP burn on all enemies for 2 turns after casting Valkyrie. And then on the 3rd one, increases the damage dealt by HP burning by 25% when she's under Valkyrie status. That's pretty gross. And then here, in Valkyrie status, damage to a single enemy with a chance to place an HP burn. 3 stages of attack damage to a single enemy with a chance to place an HP burn. Immune to control effects, and there's a 60% chance to counterattack, 100% chance when she is skilled up, and then each stage of attack restores self HP by 5% of max HP when Malia targets. Okay, all right, so yeah, I see why she can do things solo. She's got a lot going on. It's a lot to think about, but basically, it's counterattacks, HP burns, and heals. I think that's the big thing to take away. So yeah, I get it. I guess I get it. Vera, I actually have Vera. I was just looking at her. I was thinking about investing in her a little bit. She seems dope. Standard attack on the A1, but she puts stealth on the ally with the lowest HP. AoE silence, up to a 35% chance on a 3-turn cooldown. Not bad. Her exclusive here is really good. Whenever an ally is under stealth, restores that ally and Vera's HP by 6% of max HP respectively. You can get that up to 10, and then she restores self HP at the beginning of each turn, which is pretty nice. And then here, when someone kills her, she puts silence on them for 3 turns, and it can't be removed. So if someone kills her and she's got 3rd exclusive, they're locked down for 3 turns, and there's nothing that can be done about it. So that's kind of cool. There's probably some fun things to work around with that. And then her active skill, Moonshadow, crit rate buff for all allies, and inflicts stealth. So crit rate buff and stealth on all allies. So, I don't know. And then here it grants an additional layer of heal. So I don't know, she puts stealth on everyone. She's probably not too hard to get tanky though. So if she happens to get one-shotted, she locks down whoever one-shot her for 2 turns. This could be an interesting, you'd have to have her 3rd exclusive, which is gonna be tough, but she could be an interesting counter to, I can't remember the champ's name. She's the one that goes into like concentration stance and then hits you for an insane amount of damage, and if it kills, she gets turn meter and resets the cooldown. So basically, she just gets a 1-shot 2 of your champs. I feel like putting everyone under stealth so that she's the only one that can be targeted. You know what I mean? That could be a way to counter that champ getting to do that twice, because it would put silence on her for a few turns. We'll talk about it when we get there. I don't know. There's probably some interesting things to be done with Vera though. Hoff, I feel like I've heard of. I think I've heard he's a good HP burner. Let's see what we got here. A1, we've got effect resist down. A2, first stage has a chance to reduce the target's defense. The second stage has a chance to reduce tenacity. And that's like a weaken, right? I can't remember what tenacity does. I think it's like your resistance against a crit or something like that. Inflicts hunting on a random enemy at the beginning of each wave. Restores the killer's HP by 18% of max HP when the target under hunting status is killed and the killer acts immediately. Afterward, Hoff inflicts hunting on a random enemy again. Okay, so he puts hunting on someone, and whoever kills him gets a heal and an extra turn. Is that what that means? And then he also puts it on someone again. So there's always a hunting debuff up. Inflicts hunting on the enemy with the highest attack instead. Increases all allies' attack by 40% for 2 turns when the target enemy... Ah, interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then here, 2 stages of attack damage to all enemies with a chance... So there it is. There's the AoE HP burn on a 4 turn. Also puts feebleness. And then Hoff casts God of Archery's arrival 1 more time on the first target inflicted with hunting at the beginning of each wave. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, he does seem kind of cool. Hazanja, another kind of popular one here. HP burn AoE damage. What do we do? Because I've never looked at this dude. 100% damage to an enemy and 2 random enemies with a chance to inflict 1 layer of HP burn for 2 turns. You can get that up to 80%. Damage to a single enemy does extra damage by 3% of max HP to the target for every layer of HP burn up to 5 all enemies have. Interesting, okay. The damage of each layer caps at 8% of his max HP, and the extra damage is considered as HP burning damage. Cool. And then increases each layer's damage. Alright. Deals more HP burn damage. God, yeah, that stacks up. It's already gross. AoE. So yeah, just lots of HP burning. Additionally triggers HP burning once. Yeah, okay. He's pretty good. I get it. Greta. 3 stages of attack damage to a single enemy with a chance to inflict a freeze. Decent damage to a single enemy with feebleness. 40% chance, and each ally has a 15% chance to resist debuffs when she survives. So she reflects all attribute debuffs. Wow, that's nasty. So she increases everyone's resistance, I guess, when she's alive, and then removes all buffs from a single enemy. Afterward, deals 600% damage. Skill deals 10% more damage for every type of buffs removed. And then you can scale that up. Yeah, that's a big old shot right there. Reduces the target's defense before attacking, and then starts to steal instead of removal. Wow, okay. Pretty nice. Aerial, who I've never heard of. Damage to a single enemy. Exotic shooting and charged energy arrow deal extra damage by 27% of this attack to 2 enemies with the lowest HP. When aerial is under concealment and stealth. Alright. Concealment. Grants yourself concealment at the beginning of each wave. Acts for 1 turn immediately and deals 40% more damage within this turn when concealment is removed. Aerial gains concealment again whenever an ally dies or she inflicts a kill. Cannot be selected as a target by the enemy. The status will be removed after taking direct damage. Is this different than stealth? This effect cannot... I guess it's different in the sense that it can't be removed. Maybe that's what makes it different. And then 600, just a big old nuke on the A3. All right. Natalie. A1 bleed. AoE bleed. Chance to replace Scythe Strike with Bloodthirsty Scythe. Okay. When she releases Scythe Strike. For every 1 enemy under bleed, increases this. So when you use her A1, you've got a chance to use the A2 instead. That's kind of cool. Inflict a layer of bleed on all enemies. Afterward, deals attack damage to all enemies. Chance to reduce their resistance. Okay. Nasil, I guess. A1 freeze. The chance is doubled if Giant Ice Shield has been activated. Recovers HP by 20% of max HP with a 20% chance to inflict freeze on all enemies for 1 turn. Okay. Target is already under freeze. Inflicts stun for 1 turn instead. This stun effect cannot be removed or resisted. What's the difference here? Can't move. Cannot act. This effect cannot be removed. Okay, I'm not sure what the point in that is, honestly. I guess it's that if it gets cleansed, if the freeze gets cleansed, they'll still be controlled, I reckon. Oh wow, and then here with the exclusive, cleanses all debuffs from self and increases the heal. That's not bad. After Giant Ice Shield is activated, there's a 20% chance to inflict freeze on attackers who deal active damage or an ally for 1 turn. And then this Giant Ice Shield, big old description. Activates Giant Ice Shield, increasing self-max HP cap by 50%. This effect is reduced by 20% every turn. When Giant Ice Shield is in effect, he's immune to all control effects and acts 1 more turn. Then the skill is changed to Shield Support. Shield Support targets 1 ally and grants ally protection to them. If this ally does not have ally protection, then 40% of the damage taken by them will be taken by Nasil instead. Nasil can protect up to 2 allies at the same time. It restores the target. So good ally protect. I don't know if that's a, like... There's a lot going on here. A lot going on. I mean, seems maybe specific. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot to take in with his skill descriptions here. This is nice. He becomes immune to control, and then it kind of like dwindles down. What's weird is there's no cooldown. So like when it's I guess maybe when the effect goes all the way down, then you can use it again? Cast Giant Ice Shield immediately at the beginning of each wave. He is immune to this death when taking fatal damage. Meanwhile, restores his HP by 50. See, that's nice. With the exclusive there, that's crazy, because then he kicks off the battle by doing it. And that makes him immune to control and all these other things. And he's interesting. I would be down to try to play. Oh, there's a skill switch. Oh, that's what it changes to. Okay. But the description was already there. And then up to 3 allies can be protected. Okay, yeah. Interesting. It's a lot going on. He's probably one you'd have to see in action, or I would have to see in action to get a full feel for. This chick right here. I hate her guts, dude. I hate her fucking guts. Make no mistake about it. Alright, so attack damage, it reduces cooldown of concentration increase and broken snow by 1 turn. Increases self crit rate and crit damage for 1 turn. This effect can't be removed. Additionally, increases piercing rate by 30% and gains immunity control effects while this skill is in effect. It's just, she's ridiculous, man. She's ridiculous. Each time she takes action, she has a 60% chance to pursue and attack the target with the lowest HP. So every time she gets a turn, and when she's skilled up, it's a 100% chance. She's then going to follow it up with an attack on another, on the target with the lowest HP. 50% of the damage dealt by the skill to all enemies other than the target. Like, they made her so strong, and then this right here is just nutty. Skilled up, that's nutty, bro. Resets its cooldown and increases self-turn meter by 50% when inflicts a kill. Acts 1 more turn if she's under concentration increase. So she does this, and then this, and then gets to do it again, because she's gonna kill someone. Like, she's insanely strong, man. She is real good. I would really like to pull one. I would really like to pull one. Sully. Interesting that there's dwarves spread out among factions. I don't know that I've ever seen a game do that before. Usually they're their own thing. Defense damage to a single enemy, grants self and all allies ally protection. Self-shield respectively. Okay, so some ally protection there. 2 stages of defense damage with a chance to reduce their defense. Afterward, allies granted ally protection by solely pursue and attack this target. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Some ally attack. And then he gets the good defense down with exclusives. That's dope. Grants ally protection to the ally with the highest attack at the beginning of each wave. That's nice. That's real nice. Reducing their damage taken by 16% before sharing 50% of their damage taken. Grants ally protection to the ally with the highest attack at the beginning of his turn. if no allies have ally protection granted. Yeah, that's a killer. That's killer right there. That makes your glass cannons that much more dangerous. Like him paired with her now if you can't get her first turn, if you get her outsped, he's gonna do this at the beginning of the fight. Like that's real nice. Deducts his HP by 15% of max, grants the ally immunity to this death, and restores their HP by 35% of max HP when the ally protected by him takes fatal damage. Skill could not be triggered when Sully's HP is below 25%. And man, yeah, he's really good glass cannon protection, man. He is really good for that. Inflicts chain on a single enemy. Takes a strong attack from Sully after meeting. So, all right. Afterward, there's a 50% chance to inflict provoke on all enemies for 1 turn. Meanwhile, he enters commander status, during which he is immune to control effects and deals 300% defense damage to targets with chain after taking direct damage 5 times or before the start of his own turn. There's also a 50% chance to inflict stun. Man, he's real good. He's really, really good, man. Yeah, I'd be down to pull him. He's sick. He would be real nice to pair with someone with a squishy damage dealer like Zia. Zia, something like that. I don't know how to say it. Sigmund. I've seen him around. Wasn't he one of the? I think he was one you could get from an event recently. A1 HP burn with a chance to leech. Damage to a single enemy with HP burn, then grants all allies a shield. Each layer of HP burn deals extra damage. Okay. Ignores shield and damage immunity. Meanwhile, increases additional damage by 50%. That's dope. Takes 12% less direct damage. Meanwhile, he has a 20% chance to counterattack upon taking direct damage. Doubles the chance if the attacker is under HP. Burn. He has immunity to freeze and HP burn. Meanwhile, he's inflicted with HP. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Grants Sigmund immunity to freeze and HP burning. Meanwhile, when he is inflicted with HP burning, it will be converted to heal. Okay. I know what they mean, but I think the wording makes it a little bit. If he's immune to HP burning, it can't get put on him to get converted into a heal. I think what they mean is like he'll never take HP burning damage. He's immune to freeze, and an HP burn can get put on him, but it'll be converted to a heal when it is. I think is what that means. Damage to all enemies with a chance of inflicting HP burn. 50% chance to additionally inflict. Okay. Yeah, so just pretty cool champ. I feel like I've heard some stuff about him. He looks dope. Kind of got some Hanzo vibes. Overwatch, but with a sword. All right, what do we got? Damage to a single enemy. And deals extra damage. Caps at 200% by 5% of the target's max HP. 2 stages of damage to a single enemy. First stage deals 60% attack damage and reduces the target's defense. The second stage deals 180% attack and surely lands a crit. That's real dope. So he sets himself up with the defense down and then guarantees crit with the second strike. Each stage deals extra damage. Oh, and you get that. Okay, that's pretty cool. For every 1% HP the target loses, his current attack has 0.3% more crit rate before he deals damage. And then you can get that up to 0.5%. Okay. I'm trying real hard not to be sniffly, so I'm going to be hitting my mic occasionally to sniffle, because I don't want to do it in the mic. So if you're wondering what that is when you see it happen, that's what my allergies are settling down. Had a rough couple days of allergies. They are settling down, but we're not quite there yet, so that's what that is if you're wondering. Damage to all enemies, deals extra damage, has more leech rate, doubles the extra damage, and it's capped. Wow, okay. There's some potential there. He seems pretty dope. Molina, who I think is actually pretty cool. I don't know that I'll invest in her next, but she is a champ that I think is pretty dope. 200% attack damage and restores HP for self and the ally with the lowest HP by 25% of the damage dealt. Increases all allies' effect resistance for 2 turns and restores their HP. And then additionally grants all allies a shield. She gains 1 layer of chivalry for every 1 layer of buff she has, which increases her direct damage dealt by up to 20%. And then there you go. And then increases chivalry. Each layer's damage increases by 50%. Interesting. And then removes all attribute debuffs from all, or I'm sorry, buffs from all enemies. Then deals damage to all enemies. The fewer targets there are, the more damage. And then afterward restores all allies' HP by damage dealt. So she's kind of an interesting character. Increases the restoration effect. Because she's a healer, like she's got healer and support stuff, but she's kind of one of those ones you'd want to throw some attack on so that her damage output converts into better heals. She's an interesting champ. She's not someone I can afford to like invest in and really check out yet. I've got her at 1A right now, and she's helpful. But I just have other champs I have to focus on before I bring her up. Catherine, I feel like I've heard some stuff about. 2 stages of attack damage with feebleness. Consolidation on all allies. And then she gets an extra turn. Okay. Restores all allies' HP at the beginning of each turn. That's pretty good. Cleanses 1 layer of debuff for every ally at random when it's triggered. That's sick. That's real nice. That's real nice. 1 layer of debuff too. It's not even like just dot damage. It could be anything. That's sick. That's real nice. All allies counterattack and shield. Oh, she's Valkyrie. Okay. Increases it. Yeah. Okay, she's kind of like Valkyrie. Shield and counterattack. She's Valkyrie on steroids, honestly. Okay. Yeah, solid. Very solid champ. Yoko. Yoko, I mistook for Ja in a recent video. I said that she had soloed me. I was talking about the other champ. I got them mixed up. She looks pretty cool. Let's see what she does. Focus. Enhances some of her skill effects. It can be stacked in layers but cannot be removed. Okay. Switches her weapon from clearness to broken wave. Afterwards, she gains 1 more action turn. When Yoko's weapon is clearness, she takes 20% less damage and gains leech. Meanwhile, each layer of focus increases extra leech. And then here, increases the leech or crit damage granted by each layer of focus by 3%. Meanwhile, increases the damage. Okay, and then when a battle starts, she gains 3 layer of focus. All right, cool. And then here, pretty big damage to a single enemy and grants herself a shield. Skill has 30% more leech. Okay, she's got a lot of leech built in and stuff. Reduces the target's turn meter. If it kills a target, releases the skill to a random enemy again. Damage dealt equals 70% of the damage done last time. That could be real nasty. That could be real nasty. And then the skill switch. Did it change everything? Did anything change over on her actual... No, I was gonna... Wait. I can't tell. It'd be cool if her aura changed with it or something. It seems to just be cycling through the colors, but anyway. 290% damage. Now what changed? 290% damage and gains a layer of focus. Okay. When it's broken wave, she deals 20% more damage and increases her crit damage by 12%. So they all change colors, but the only thing that actually changes is the passive, I think. All right, she's cool. All right, next. Sunset Sages. Slackdo. Slackdo. Attack damage to a single enemy. Steals an attribute buff. Reduces the target's turn meter if they have no buffs. Steals all of the target's attribute buffs and reduces the target by 20% if they... Alright, cool. 25%. AoE, remove all their attribute debuffs. Why do I keep saying that? Buffs. Removes all the target's buffs before attacking. All of them. Increases the direct damage dealt by 24% when he attacks enemies with no attribute buffs. Deals 3 stages of attack to all enemies. Each of the first 2 stages deals 60% with a 30% chance to inflict block buffs. Last stage deals 100% attack damage and deals 50% more damage to targets with block buffs. Okay. and then increases 2 stages of attack. Wow. The final stage increases 100% damage to target. Wow. He's pretty interesting. He sets himself up to do a lot of extra stuff. Okay. That weapon, though. I've seen him around a bit. Alahan. Removes 1 layer of a random buff from a single enemy, then deals damage to them and restores self HP by 60% of the damage dealt. And then removes all buffs from target, increases HP restoration. Okay. Makes the HP percentage of all allies the same as the ally with the most HP percentage. That's annoying. Cleanses all attribute debuffs from all allies before restoration, then grants a layer of heal. That's gross. And that's on a 3-turn cooldown. Okay. Alright. That's okay. Yeah, 3 turns is short for something like that. Okay, so yeah, you wanna either go in with a lot of heavy AoE damage, or be sure you can take him out quick, so that he can't just keep filling everybody up. Stores HP by 10% of max HP to an ally, and increases their attack for 2 turns whenever this ally destroys an enemy target's shield when he survives. This effect can only be triggered once per turn. Restores 10% max HP to an ally and increases their attack when they destroy a shield. Alright, cool. Removes all enemy shields, then deals 100% attack damage to all enemies with a 40% chance to inflict stun. Steals all enemy shields instead. It grants all allies a shield 20% of max HP. Okay. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass, it sounds like. Sounds like he's a real pain in the ass. Sana. 2 stages of attack damage and increases turn meter. Doubles the increased turn meter if it lands a crit. Deals 3 stages of damage and gains a crit damage bonus for each stage. Increases the crit damage bonus of the next stage to 45% when lands a crit. Turn meter cannot be reduced. She gains 1 layer of sharp arrow each time she lands a crit, increasing 1% speed and 1% direct damage. Can be stacked up to 10 layers. Okay. Crit damage dealt by Sana has 25% more piercing rate. Okay. And then increases her crit rate by 50% for 2 turns. Afterward, deals 3 stages of attack damage to all enemies and gains a crit damage bonus. The skill has an additional piercing rate against targets with less than 50% HP. And then it's a crit rate buff for all allies at exclusive 3. Alright, she's kind of sick. She's pretty sick, actually. Walter. That is an interesting name for this character. If you told me to look at him and guess his name, Walter would be very low on the list of guesses. Alright, so yeah, I imagine we're going to be pretty poison heavy here. Layer of poison, AoE poison, with an extra layer. When a target takes damage due to poison, Walter restores HP by 50% of his attack. When it takes direct damage, he has a 30% chance of inflicting a layer of poison on the attacker for 2 turns. And then here, he's immune to poison. Meanwhile, reduces the direct damage dealt by any target under poison by 20%. And then he can deal 30% more poison damage. And all his allies can deal more poison damage as well. And then here, AoE triggers poison 1 time. Up to 6 layers can be triggered each time, with a 40% chance not to reduce the duration of poison if the target... Oh. It's a little bit of poison explosion going on here, with a chance to not consume it. So that is an interesting thing to think about. You would pair well with, is it Taff? I think. Interesting. Taurus. We've got its inferior severe wound. AoE damage, more damage to low HP targets. Additionally gains crit damage when his HP is above 50%. Leech when he's low. Fine. Severe wound. Yeah, fine. Johanna, I'm very familiar with. I use her on my free-to-play. She is who I'm working on as my second 5A right now. She's got an inferior severe wound on the A1. She's got a slow on the A2, and with a speed buff for all allies. She's got When she survives, she's got damage reduction for the whole team. Its effect is reduced by 50% 2 turns after she acts when multiple skills increase its attribute. What'll be nice is if I can ever get a third exclusive on her, it's just permanent damage reduction as long as she's alive. It won't go away after 2 turns. And then here, it's a heal, turn meter boost, attack buff, and then a better heal if the target's HP is low. So, and then when we get exclusive, she's dope. She's a killer support. She's been helping Sinton a lot. He's able to do a lot more because of her. Nasakma. Really, you sure his name isn't like Phil or something? All right, inferior severe wound. Okay. AoE horrify, which I think is just like a fear from raid. This one inflicts HP connection on the enemy with the highest attack at the beginning of each wave and deals damage by 30% of the damage taken to the target. When a target he inflicts with HP Connect dies, he restores self HP by 25%. Meanwhile, he inflicts it on the enemy with the highest attack. Okay, yeah. This is annoying. This is annoying. You see him in PvE, and there's a couple of... I think it's Rum, and maybe somewhere else. He's one of the minions, and it's that beam that comes from him to one of your champs, and they're sharing damage that he takes, and it's a real pain in the ass. Attack damage to all enemies, steals all their buffs, and resets their duration. That's a pretty insane skill right there, actually. Resets the cooldown of Imperious Curse when any enemy target who does not have a buff or is under Horrify status dies. And then after it successfully steals a buff, there's a 60% chance to inflict Horrify for 1 turn. Man, that's real nasty. That's a nasty A3 right there. That's a nasty A3. And then that HP connection passive is also a real pain in the ass. Serena. Damage to a single enemy. Stealth to self and an ally. And grants shield. Okay. When an ally launches a direct attack, she gains a layer of feather. Feather reaches 6 layers. Sacred Feather evolves. If it reaches 12 layers. Flying Feathers evolves if it reaches 18. Okay. So longer fight. Long time for that to go. Longer fights. Seems like where she would shine. And then here we've got Flying Feathers. 2 stages of damage to all enemies. The fewer the number of enemies, the higher the damage dealt. And then it's just changing once, right? So that's regular Light Feather, Sacred Feather, and Flying Feather. And then here, 200, it becomes an AoE, Stealth to self and ally, and grants shield of 40% max HP. And then 3 stages of damage to all enemies, fewer number of enemies. So just more damage, and her A1 becomes an AoE. So yeah. And then I think something's up with her exclusive. At exclusive 2, Light Feather stays at an A1 AoE. So that's Gru. Deals damage by 12% of Gru's max HP to a single enemy and restores self HP by 8% of max HP. This attack cannot land a crit. So you shoot his HP up. It'd be kind of a beefy A1, to be honest. Restores all allies' HP by 12% of his max HP. You can increase it. And then it grants a layer of heal. Ally protection to all allies for 1 turn at the beginning of each wave and at the beginning of his turn. He shares 20% of the damage taken by allies and takes 3% less damage for every 1 ally he protects. That's pretty sick. 50% chance to restore self HP by 10% of max HP if Gru's HP. Yeah. And then here, increases his max HP cap by 25% for 2 turns, then deals damage by 46% of Gru's max HP to a single enemy. This again can get real beefy. This can become a real beefy hit here. Because at 5A, you're talking, you know, easy 400,000 plus HP, especially with someone that you're focusing HP on. You can probably get it way higher than that, and that's going to be that's a nasty hit. increases the max HP cap to 50%, and additionally increases all allies' max HP. Yeah, that's gonna be a real sick. He's dope, man. I'd like to pull him. I think he'd be good. Megan, attack damage to a single enemy with a 30% chance to inflict severe wound. Fine. 3 stages of attack damage to all enemies, reducing their defense. Fine. All allies additionally gain crit rate when she survives. When multiple skills increases attribute, only the strongest one will take effect. Gains 1 layer of law up to 5 layers, which increases her crit damage. Okay. Increases crit rate by 50%, deals attack damage. With a 30% piercing rate, this attack ignores immortal and damage immunity. That's kind of dope. She's got a nice ultimate. The rest of her kit, I don't know that I'm super interested in, but that's kind of cool. Yeah, good nuke skill. Maeve. What do we got here? She looks cool as hell, dude. That's a real cool character model. All right, hypnotize, which is sleep. Defense down on the A2. You can get it down to a 3-turn. Guaranteed to reduce the target's defense and inflicts 1 layer of... Okay, so that's nice, actually. And then 1 layer of Slumber Mark. Each layer of Slumber Mark reduces the target's speed by 5%. After reaching 5 layers, deals an extra 340% attack damage and inflicts Hypnotize for 1 turn. If the extra damage kills a target, deals damage to all enemies and inflicts hit. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. 3 stages, so that's 600% with a 50% piercing rate. She's kind of dope. Deals an extra stage of damage. That's a nasty nuke right there too. Taff, he's one that I've got on the main that I kind of want to do something with. Poison Sense and Poison on the A1. Grants all allies heal for 2 turns and cleanses 3 layers of dots. This is what makes him real cool. Inflicts a layer of poison on all enemies at the beginning of each wave for 2 turns. Meanwhile, he deals 30% more damage. You can scale that up to 50% more. And then his exclusive 3, he does an extra 50% more, so you can get crazy poison damage out of him. And then his A3 is an AoE intertwined and poison intertwined. And just a stun after 2 turns. Here it will reset the duration of all dots, which is nasty. And then they'll be additionally inflicted with severe wounds. So he's kind of sick. He's one I would like to get rolling. Molassa. We've got more poisons. More direct damage to anyone under poison. So I guess she'd pair well with Taff and Walter, was it? And then 420% attack damage to a single enemy with poisons. All right, so fairly straightforward kit. Bonus damage and lots of poisons. She's an elite, or an epic rather. Where are we at? Doom Legion. So we're about done with the top row here. Bismarck, who I have. Seems kind of a cool champ, but I can't make myself invest in him next for some reason. If the target has Dark Lightning, consumes a layer of Dark Lightning and attacks again. If the target is killed, attacks the enemy with the lowest HP. This skill can only trigger 1 additional attack. Damage to all enemies. If the target has Dark Lightning, doubles the damage and consumes a layer of Dark Lightning. Whenever this skill kills an enemy, reduces the cooldown of Lightning Channel by 1 turn and increases self-turn meter by 50%. Each of its attacks have a 34% chance to inflict a layer of Dark Lightning, reduces 30% tenacity from the target whose Dark Lightning is consumed by Bismarck. And then here, randomly attacks 5 enemies. Or it randomly attacks enemies 5 times, I should say. Each attack dealing attack damage. This skill prioritizes enemies without Dark Lightning. When this skill inflicts a kill, he gains 40% attack and crit damage for 2 turns. So he prioritizes enemies without Dark Lightning. Yeah, that's interesting. And then attacks 3 more times. If he inflicts a kill, he additionally gains stealth for 2 turns. So like he's dope. There's something. He's definitely usable. I just have other stuff going on, so I'm not focusing him. This dude I see a lot, but I have no idea what he does yet. Damage to a single enemy reduces their turn meter with a chance to reduce their attack. Grants immortal on all allies, and that's just will not die. And then grants heal as well. You can get that down to a 3 turn. Increases it. Sorry about that. I meant to mute. I just brain farted. Increases its turn meter by 20% when an enemy dies. Increases all allies' turn meters by 20% when an ally dies. Interesting. At the end of each turn, increases 15% turn meter for the ally with the lowest turn meter. Okay, all right. Increases the ally's turn meter by... Oh! And resets their active skills cooldown. Okay. All right, now I get it. Because again, I've seen him around, and I've now that I know that's what he does, some of the stuff I've watched happen makes sense. I've seen him paired with Xia a few times, and yeah, it's annoying as hell. She's one. Ilet is one I'm considering investing in next. She is very, very cool. I think she's real good. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet, but she's one I definitely want to build and check out. 2 stages of defense damage and reduces their effect hit. Increases all allies' defense for 2 turns, then inflicts block debuffs on them for 1 turn. And then exclusive, she also grants a shield. She has built-in damage reflect, and you can get it up to, what is that? That's an extra 16, so 44. Is that right? Yeah. And then with her exclusive, a chance to counterattack when taking direct damage, and is guaranteed to counterattack if the attacker's HP is below 30%. So lots of damage reflection built in. And then here on her A3, 300% defense damage to a single enemy and inflicts provoke. Skill has an additional 30% leech afterward, increases the self damage reflect by 30%. So she stacks more damage reflect on top of her already present damage reflect. I would be interesting to see how, like if I took her and a couple of other champs that had damage reflect and made a team out of that to counter some of these like Leicester teams and stuff, some of these heavy hitting AoE teams. If we could just make them kill themselves hitting us, that's kind of something I want to play around with, but it might be a minute before we can get to something like that. So yeah, and then she gets a slash with her exclusive 3. So she's very cool. She's a pretty interesting champ. I do wish it was a little bit easier to build champs quickly, just to test them out in this game. The only real way to really do that is going to be, I think, to use regression potions, to have a few on hand and like regress someone I have built that I'm using, invest in someone else to test them out, and then regress them and put those resources back in someone I want to use. You know what I mean? Kind of a bummer in that sense, but it is what it is. All right, Jennifer. I don't recall ever seeing this champ. Restore self HP, fine. Chance to inflict severe wound. Becomes an AoE with exclusive. Oh, I don't want to read all that. She gains dormancy at the beginning of each wave, taking 20% less damage, the effect of which is reduced by 25% every turn. Meanwhile, she gains bug hum, which increases her direct damage dealt by the same amount as the damage reduction effect of dormancy. She gains 10% leech and immediately cleanses all her debuffs when dormancy has been fully converted to bug hum. Then she casts Bug Dance 1 more time. Afterward, Jennifer casts Bug Dance 1 more time every 5 turns. And then the damage reduction effect is lost, but the direct damage increase effect remains the same, while Dormancy is being converted to Bug Hum. Leech is increased by 15% when Dormancy has been converted into Bug Hum. Okay. And then Bug Dance deals 3 stages of attack damage to all enemies and grants stealth for 1 turn. Boy, there's a lot going on in there. There's a lot going on in her skills. Like, relax, you know? Deals attack damage to a single enemy twice and gains a layer of blade. 420% attack damage to a single enemy and gains 2 layers of blade. When she has 6 layers of blade, she consumes all layers and deals attack damage to all enemies. Increases the damage. Okay. And then deals 3 layers of attack damage to all enemies and gains 3 layers of blade. 4 attack stages. Yeah, she's real nasty. When she's fully decked out, I've had her smack me real hard in arena. She's also very popular. She's like the 14-day login champ or something, right? So, but she's also real good. We know that. Atman was my third 5A on this account. He's got burns and HP burns. He's got AoE burn or HP burning for 2 turns while refreshing the duration of all dot debuffs. He's got every time he Every time the enemy takes burn or HP burning damage, he restores his own HP by 30% of his attack. If burn is detonated, the restoration rate doubles. And then he gets pretty cool stuff from his exclusives. And then here we've got 5 times at random, dealing attack damage every time. 40% chance of inflicting burn or HP burn. He's sick, man. He's great. He's great dot damage. He's a crazy good HP burner. Could potentially be a carry. With that heal thing that he's got built in with the HP burns, he might be a pretty solid carry by himself, actually. I run Holder, Liz, and Atman, and they put in some work, man. They're my 3-5As right now. Gunner's one I've started to see more recently in Arena a lot. Had never seen him, and then like 3 days ago I started seeing him in Arena constantly. I'm guessing someone made a video or something, I don't know. 40% chance to inflict a layer of burn. Removes all enemy shields, then deals defense damage to all enemies with a chance to inflict burn. Okay. Inflicted by gunners based on defense damage. If the target is not under burn, when gunner takes direct damage, there's a 50% chance to inflict one layer of burn. They like that Drexstar energy here. Okay, I see though. I see what's going on. Damage to all enemies with a chance to inflict a layer of burn. Deep burn. What is deep burn? I don't think I've seen deep burn yet, and it won't let me click it. So, oh well. All right, yeah, he seems interesting enough, I reckon. All right, where are we at? We are done with the top row. How many Legos are in each one? 4, 5, few. All right, maybe we should split this up into 2 parts. Because it took me 45 minutes to just do the top row. So yeah, I think I'll do a part 2 to this. We'll wrap this one up here, and I will do a part 2 to this probably tomorrow, honestly. I want to get it done soon. I won't leave it hanging too long. But I didn't expect this to take me like an hour and a half. So we're gonna put a pin in it, knock the top row out. Tomorrow we'll come back and knock out the bottom row. And then I think we will have effectively looked at every champ in the game, because we've already done epics and mythics. So that's it. I hope this is interesting for you. It's been interesting for me going through and looking at champs and seeing what some of these champs that I've seen around do, and understanding like why they've been such a pain in the ass. So I'm sure there's some more down here we'll check out. But that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good one. Later.